Right. But she had been living with the dude for like the last 3 months or whatever. So the case was already made that he was capping. Or even if it was the side chick, she was getting only.
What do y'all think though? What's y'all opinion about the joint? What went down, bro? How he treated her? How she was Did y'all see the one when was that his sister?
No, that was his manager, I think.
Did y'all see it when she was in the house and like Danny Lee? Is it Danny Lay or Danny Lee?
I think it's Danny Lee. I think.
Let's go with that. Call it Dan. Let's go with Danny.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did y'all see when she was pleading that like so we wasn't just together?
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. She was pleading.
Yeah, she was hurt, man. She was hurt, so she reacted out of emotion because she was hurt, and the baby was trying to prove he should have kept it player. If he really felt like that, he should have just been like, okay, like all right, cool, like to do all that and be like, nah, you was just the side and not like if it's really it is what it is.
Jay, how you keep it player in that situation? How do you keep it player in that situation?
You just say, okay, that's what's up, and you just gracefully tell her, like, if you're gonna be like, first of all, you keep it player by not going on social media. None of that should have been even presented, period. The second thing you do is if that's how you really feel, and this is the mother of your child, and you feel like that, the next step is to go ahead and say, okay, listen, I don't want you to be here. I don't want to, XYZ, and explain that to her because obviously she was reacting like that because you're showing us one thing but telling her another thing.
Yeah.
So obviously that's the only reason why she was reacting like that. Is it embarrassing? Absolutely. But I'm telling you, the platform that he has, if you as player as you say you are, and this is really a side chick, you're doing a whole lot to prove that she's a side chick.
Yeah.
Spoken like a real pimp.
Hey, look.
All the time Jay limped in here with his cane.
Yeah.
Mike, what's your take, Mike?
I think the whole if we go by what he said and how he's a stand-up father and all those things, right? He take responsibility for his actions. I think the part that some individuals have an issue with is taking complete responsibility, meaning you just can't raise the child but create an environment that's bullshit, right? Like what about being a great father doesn't come with like disrespecting the mother, regardless of if she's crazy, of all of that stuff that he was presented. He could be 100% right about that, right? But what Jay was saying, keep it player, if I could translate it, keep it respectful. Don't embarrass her, man. Don't play her if y'all was hooked up for the last 3 months in the crib. Like who you trying to impress? Who is he doing it for? Who is he really telling that to? Is he telling it to her or us?
So this is not my view. I just got to play devil's advocate.
Church, Mike. Church.
Hey, what if she was with it? What if she knew she was a side chick? She was with it. She knew everything that happened up until this point. She just didn't want a camera around. Does that make him any worse or better? I'm just asking. This ain't my view. I'm just playing devil's advocate, literally.
What the thing is, whether she knows she's a side chick or not, it never should have came out. It's what's understood ain't got to be said, man. That's the issue that I have with it. I don't like going to social media to fight my battles.
How many people do you think live by that, Joe Jay? Like realistic. How many people do you think live by what's understood?
I think in today's age, you don't live by that. Like the people that we have now, social media runs everything. So it's like, oh, okay, I have to. And I think with the situation that just happened with the baby with the LGBTQ, did I say that right, y'all?
Yeah.
The community, the community. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, chill out, bro. You about to get us canceled, bro.
Oh, okay. That's what's up, bro. I ain't disrespecting nobody, but that's what's up. Like the issue that he had with them, he's trying to like basically overproof himself now. Like you're doing too much, bro. Like just let it go. Understand the situation. And if you like think about how much effort it took for you to come. He went to the Charlotte Hornets game last night, I think. So to come from the game, come into the house at 3 a.m. and to go live, you understand what you had to go through in the car as you're going home, all these different things to get to this point. She was literally feeding a baby, your child, while you're going on live. I don't know. But again, it's in his character because he did the same thing with his previous baby mama.
And check this out, King. All of this took place in the same house. Like they was both going live back and forth, like in the same house.
I think that's the embarrassing part, bro. I was gonna say two things that we can get up at. Like,
please.
Cause, bro, I'm like, this is gonna sound so bad, but I'm being honest. It's hard for me. I do feel for her. I hate that she's going through it. But do you think she didn't know who this nigga was before she laid down with him?
That's where she got to take accountability.
Like she knew, like, come on, bro. His music cool, but he's proven this over and over and over and over again that as soon as I get mad, I revert to like, nah, I gotta do me, I'm gonna do whatever. So, like, how much compassion can you have when like you feel bad for you don't want the baby, the actual baby to be going through this. Like, you don't want that, but like there's no way this was not abundantly.
I don't think I know for me in the situation, I didn't feel it's not about the compassion for her. This compassion there. And no, it's compassion there, but it was more so the way that he moved in the situation. That's what irritated me. The compassion is definitely there, and I understand that. I know there's some underlying stuff, and we don't know the whole story. I'm just saying, from a man's perspective, me talking directly to him, you don't move like that. Mm-hmm. If you understand the situation and you know that's what it was, it makes you look worse because you sit there and you knew that she was a side chick and you sitting over here taking all these pictures. You knew she was a side chick and you over here engaging in all this activity. You knew, like, if you knew all this stuff, and yeah, I hate to say it, but she bought the dream that he sold her. But if you know all that, why do you have to state that on live?
I agree. So I agree the live was messed up. So the transition, that's a great question, Jay, because I'm going to ask you and then we can go around. So as a black dude, how do you act now? Take the live out. We ain't even talking about the baby and Danielle no more.
Just what you mean, how I act when?
How do you move? Like, I feel like, and again, I'm not talking about that, even though we just got off that. What I'm saying is like, I feel like there's a real big, huge gray area for black dudes. Like, how would you express being upset without being judged one way or the other? How would you express saying that you still growing and learning without being judged one way or the other? How would you express
express it to who? Like, to another black man, or just in general? Like, what do you?
Let's go in all facets. Friends,
okay,
family,
work.
Yeah, work, all facets. How would you really express?
I think, first of all, being a black man, the first thing you have to do to express any type of thing, if you're feeling any type of way about any situation, you have to stop and think. You cannot we don't have the privilege, and we're not privy to certain information. We can't just fire off like that because we don't have a certain level of privilege to where it can be like, he was just a little angry today. Let's just you don't get a pass like that. So you have to stop and think. And I'm learning that, like I said, with my communication, understanding, engaging with different people in different environments. I'm learning how to control that and say, hey, let me take a second. And just learn. Another thing you have to do as a black man is process stuff. I think we have to process stuff 10 times faster than anybody else, whether that's in a relationship, whether it's in your marriage, in a friendship. You have to process things at a high rate because you don't have the time to really dissect it, because the more time you take, the less effective it is when you're dealing with other people. I'm learning that as a person. Like, somebody will get in it, and sometimes it's good and bad. Like, I'm sure in like a corporate environment, Lewis can attest to that. He's in a corporate environment, and Mike, I know you deal with a lot of corporate people as well. All of us do, anyway. But you don't have the time. If they
do y'all realize Jay always name everybody out?
I know, bro. I do. I definitely do. I don't know. I try to make sure everybody's included. So when you're dealing with something in that type of environment, sometimes you don't have time to do all that. Your mind has to work fast to process what's going on, assess the situation, and go ahead and take care of it. You don't have time to say, okay, I need to think 4,000 times about what's going on. So learning those things, I would share that with anybody. And that's what I'm currently working on right now, guys.
So you can tell people when your feelings hurt, Jay?
I have to process it first because my initial reaction is not the good one.
Mike, Lewis, what about y'all, bro? How y'all feel about that when it's the right time to express ourselves in any environment?
At home is different.
Good different? Good different?
Yeah, I don't have to process.
What? Hey, what? How you figure that?
Okay, Lewis on his BS this
time. Already, bro.
Because your intent is understood at home, right?
I think so, yeah.
No, Mike, don't try to smooth that.
Thank you, Michael. So
hey, I knew he was on when he texted me back earlier. So likewise, nigga. I was like,
like what? Hey, I'm like, bro, what is he talking about? He on demon time today.
Go ahead, my bad, Louis.
No, man, I think at home I just have less patience. I probably should have more patience, perhaps. Um,
Perhaps.
at work, it's a little different, man, because like I channel anger differently. Like I become petty, and it's my goal to now insult you without you've been insulted. So like when I get upset at work, I become probably the most articulate, and I purposely use big words that people don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I intentionally like try to like be vindictive in a way, but also
big
like
word.
towing that line. You know what I'm saying? Like but also, like nonverbals is something I had to learn about, which is not something I knew prior to.
Your
Because
nonverbals or noticing
mine.
All right.
Like now.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to have two Black women to pull me into an office one time and just keep it real with me. Like, I was someone that if you were wrong, I would tell you were wrong. I had J syndrome. Like I would just flat out like
don't try to sneak that. No, don't try to sneak that in there, Lewis. Like, I had J syndrome. Now
I would just straight up
Google and looking it up and shit.
If something didn't make sense, I'd say, hey man, that just doesn't make sense. Like I don't understand, I'd be like, oh no, you're wrong. So I had to learn that there's a certain decorum. I do get frustrated with it because I do see how some people I don't have the privilege as other folks to react a certain way. And it is frustrating. And maybe that's why I probably process less at home, because I have to over process in those environments. Yeah, that's actually probably why, to be honest with you.
That's good.
Mike?
I think I'm similar to both of those guys. I think when it comes to deciding how I want to, I guess, express emotions or disagreements or my feelings hurt, I think at home I'm able to be more vulnerable because I'm able to I guess provide the complete I guess context of why it is bothering me, I guess the ramifications of it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm similar to Lewis at work. If I hear something I don't like or something is slightly off, I might take an extra 30 minutes to like chart out the argument, if that makes sense. Like, you gotta chart it out because of
course, y'all niggas' egos is serious, boy.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. That's serial killer syndrome.
Yeah, and it typically happens when you feel insulted. So at that point, you feel like you've been combated with ego. So now let's go.
Get back.
Yeah,
let's go. Danny Lee.
Yeah.
Danny Lee. Yep.
Jay, you stupid, man. Shut up, man. You're stupid.
Yeah, so take a extra second to identify like what goal am I trying to accomplish by saying this, and also you probably look around and say, am I the only one? Is it just me, or am I the only one feeling like this?
Right.
Sometimes you got to go to war by yourself, especially over stuff related to non-work matters. Like when you're addressing, I guess, how you feel in relation to non-work matters at work, like chicken jokes or
what, Mike? What?
God Almighty!
Yeah,
chicken
like
jokes.
That.
Yeah, like chicken jokes or the tone of voice. How you read the email and you feel like they're trying to play you in the email. All of that stuff challenges it happening at work. But it's really challenging outside work stuff because that now you're showing like how you were raised, the morals and standards you live by. And I need to know if I go down this road, am I gonna get the result I want? You know what I mean? Like, if not, then I might just go ahead and let it slide.
Damn, I don't even want to say my answer, bro.
Chicken jokes.
Go ahead, bro.
Go
ahead, chicken George. I mean, jokes.
Nah, I don't think it's just gonna sound crazy. I don't think nobody at my job can insult me. Like, unless it's like just blatant, like boom. It's like those. I'm like, okay, like, because I'm gonna say what I deal with being a mathematician, if I use that word. Don't want nobody come to everybody want me to come to their world, but won't nobody come to my world. Like you can get me on the things that and I feel like I'm pretty well, versed in other stuff. But like in my job, in my atmosphere, you ain't gonna step in the ring with me. You're never gonna step in the ring with me mathematically on any day. So like,
I'll step in there.
You don't want that smoke, but I'm with it. But the thing is, though, I think the thing is,
this nigga got a whiteboard behind him, Lewis.
Hey, bro, right here, bro.
Look,
let's put that right there. Quit.
He pull it out. You don't want to step in the ring with me.
No, but it's like this though. I think that at work, I just don't. I hope none of my coworkers see. I don't value their opinion enough for them to insult me, bro. It's just like you feel the way you feel. Okay, cool. Unless you're doing some blatant disrespectful stuff, then I'm good. I'm gonna let it ride. I think at home, I had to learn how to, when it goes back to processing, I had to learn to like not overly communicate because I was the king of that. Like I would say, I think if I'm feeling 3 or 4 feelings, I think I need to prioritize which feelings need to be addressed because I can address some of those myself. I don't need to address every feeling I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? And I used to tell every feeling I'm feeling and why I'm feeling that way. But some of those may be lingering. Some of those may be from yesterday. Some of them may be from, you know what I'm saying? It was never about in the moment. And I used to be super duper crazily passive aggressive because I thought that was when they should tell you men don't argue, men don't do this. I thought walking around the house being quiet, like not saying like, nah, I let it slide. But my energy shift the whole house. And my wife would say stuff like, how old are you? Like walking around like that. Like you can't say how you feel.
J syndrome.
Bro, the thing I love about me and my wife, we now granted this has been years, but like we got that type of transparent. Like you really gonna sit around and act like you can't say how you feel? Like what are you doing? And I think the vulnerability part to me, I think to people that I rock with, including y'all, I don't feel judged. I'll say anything that I'm feeling or say anything I've been through. But I think to flip this on the other side, in society, I think we're giving society a lot of grace on how we are able to express ourselves. Because even though we said all these things, I think it's consequences to those in every aspect. For instance, I'll go here with it.
That's true.
I feel like there's consequences as a male demanding things from relationships. I feel like a black male specifically, like if you demand, like, no, I'm not going to be treated like that, you soft. If you say, I'm not standing for that, you difficult. Like, I think in every relationship you can pick, you like straight up demanding for yourself or like saying, I feel strongly about this plays against you personally. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I was watching a interview the other day and it went left. It was a group of guys, group of young ladies. And the young man was trying to prove a point. He asked the group of young ladies, hey, first date, pretend it's the first date. Hey, just get straight to the point. Hey, what do you bring to the table? Right. And what they was asking was to outline, check the boxes based on, you tell me what you bring and I'm gonna check off my boxes. And they told him that they were offended by the question because if he came to ask, then he should already know what's at the table. But really, that's no different than right. But that's no different than sitting down over dinner and you asking, a series of questions. Hey, how's your job? You like your job? How many kids you have? That's really the same question in a nutshell. What do you bring to the table? What do I need to know that's gonna help me expedite this situation? What are your barriers?
Well, hey Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off, but in that, what I got out of what you just said, okay, I did. But what you got out of that, I definitely did, bro. What I got from that conversation, that the interview, is that when you ask that question, I think they got offended because I really don't think that enough women in today's society are thinking about that question.
And it's not because never required them to answer.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think that.
Well, y'all coming with some spoken stuff today.
Yeah, I don't think we required them to answer that question. Like we've only, as men, we've been simple. We just need food and food and like my bad. We just need, you know what I'm saying? We've required like food and just companionship.
Hold on, Jay. Are you saying that's all we need, or are you saying to a point we let that be all we needed?
To a point, we let that be all we needed to like be like, okay, we're good to go. Like, long as you, because I mean, even goes back to the old saying, like, yeah, you know, make sure he good, make sure he drain, make sure his belly full, he good, because that was the norm then. But then it's like, now it's like, no, we're requiring more. We want that companionship. We want somebody we can sit here, communicate with, and say, hey, what are you feeling? What do you see us in the next 5 years? What do you like to do so I can actually add to that value? You know what I mean? Like, what do you, when you start asking those questions and somebody's not challenging their self on those questions, then it comes off as like, yo, what are you're getting outside this realm of just food and this. Like, what is all this extra stuff?
Yeah, because
I agree with what you were saying.
Just imagine being out or you've been dating a young lady for 6, 7, 8 months, and you're the one that's asking, hey, so what are we? You know, what's the next step between us? Is that's not a norm for guys, right?
Hell no.
But is that something that we create? Is that pattern something that we threw off? Like, how do we get to that space where we're basically not in control of what we need anymore? Like, we can't set rules, we can't filter. You know how like you search something, you filter out what you we can't put no preferences on anything. How do we get there?
I can answer that. I know how we got there. How we got there is this. In the past, women have been the topic of being hurt from the beginning of time to now, right? So what they chose to do in their head is say, this is from my perspective. I'm not speaking for all women or all men. What I gather is I'm going to be the one that's going to toughen up and not be hurt. So everybody has this eggshell now, and it's like, I'm on defense mode. So now instead of him being the first one to make that move or him being the first one to say, hey, do all this, I'm going to turn it to the man in the situation now and control it. Because now I'm tired of my heart being broken. I'm tired of these guys doing me like this. So now I'm going to be the enforcer. I'm going to put the situation in my hands. What's happening to the men is that now that you have the good, genuine men that are growing up to still have that chivalry, to still have that stuff, it's not applied the same. We're trying to use Windows 6 with Windows 10 right now, and it's not working. It's not working because they're not going for it.
That's strong, man.
Oh, go ahead, Lewis. I'm sorry.
No, I said, bro, go ahead.
So let me ask this then. Jumping in that bag, what was some of the evolution of you all's need from when you were 20 to like as you grew and mature as a man, as a boyfriend, fiance, husband, father? What were some things that you used to think you needed or what you were getting, and then they evolve and it's just like, damn, I don't even want that no more. I want this.
We'll let Lewis take this one because you cut him off last time, Kenny.
I may give a bad answer, but it's really a lot of the same things. I just needed more of certain things through my evolution. I think on the journey that I'm on now, I need my wife to be more of my accountability partner, to make sure that I am sticking to some of the things that I set out for myself. I think early on, I needed support. I needed trust. And she's earned that, and she's shown me that, she's someone I can trust. But obviously trust is still a big factor now. I think, I just think it's all the same things. I think you just need more of other things throughout the growth of your relationship.
So when you say accountability partner, are you actually open to being critiqued, or do you?
Yeah, I asked for it.
And you open to what she say, no matter what it is, good, bad, ugly, whatever?
Yeah, because I value her opinion. Now, if you start coming to me, I'm like, wow, get that shit out of here, boy. But my wife, I value what she says.
Hey, this the crazy part is I don't even have this nigga number saved. I don't know why he talking like that.
Yo, y'all are crazy tonight.
That's the same shit the baby said.
Yeah, hey, look, like this nigga, I'm just playing.
The baby said the same shit.
I'm the same way though.
Chill, bro, chill.
I'm the same way though. I gotta admit, I'm the same way. Britt and probably like 2 other people. But y'all, evolution of y'all needs.
You said Britain like 200 people. What'd you say? Oh, not saving numbers. Oh, saving numbers.
This is the difference. No, nigga, I'm talking about opinions. I think I would get critiqued, and I will listen to people. I just don't think I take everybody's opinion. Like I don't even. I will ask people. Oh, God. Like I ask people sometimes because I need to know what the dumbass is thinking too while this is happening. I gotta know what all ends of the spectrum.
So you go the other way.
Yeah, you got to, because you gotta know how the whole ladder aligns in order to know what you know what I'm saying. And
so do you ask people opinions so you can hear them and be like, oh yeah, I'm not slow.
No, I don't. Let me say this. I don't ask anybody for their opinion that I don't value. I will take.
Okay.
I will hear people telling me stuff if we ended up having a conversation, but I don't ask I don't ask anybody that I don't value. I don't ask their opinion at all. And I would, and if I really don't respect what you said, I'm like, bro, I'm good. Before you even start getting too deep in the conversation, because I don't even want you to think that. I don't even want you to waste your time like that. Because I don't know how we got on this about talking about people's advice, but like, you got to think about it. For me, a person that's a thinker and try to do stuff, I can't take too many ideas at once because it paralyzes me. So I'd rather take the 2 or 3, I trust, see how much it aligns with mine and see what I need to tweak here and go. But y'all about the evolution of y'all needs.
Mine, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
For me, at first it was in the beginning stages, I think it was more so of like acceptance. It was more so of like seeking validation. And it was also a lot of pressure because because me and Pooh been together since high school, you know what I mean? We got married young. It was more so of just trying to keep that image, I think, more so of like, hey, this is what love looks like. And I didn't know what it looks like. So I thought the simple things were working. Hey, I love you. Hey, you love me back. That was great. That's all we needed. But it's like as we started evolving into the human beings that we are now, growing together, but also growing separately, I realized that my needs changed. As far as like now I'm looking more so on like what I value and what she values and how can we intertwine those things and not really press. I used to press the issue about a lot of stuff, and if it didn't align with what I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, that's not what we need to do. I kind of took the I guess the head of household thing a little too serious and realized that I was actually not giving my wife the floor to communicate how she effectively needs to. And I think it ended up doing more damage than anything because it's like now when we have those conversations, they're great conversations, but I can tell that it's like, it's some reserve there because it's like the times that I do want to express those things to you, you kind of shut me down. So in the stage that I'm in now, it's like I try to be open more with my communication and understand like, hey, you know what? Like, okay, that's not a bad idea. And understand what my flaws are. Understand that if I'm not strong in the area, I need to let my wife lead in the area instead of, having pride in the area. That's where I've evolved to, is trying to bring it, because my pride used to be bad. I mean, really bad.
You said it used to be?
Yeah, it's gotten better.
Oh.
Hey, my boy progressing, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
hey, look, that don't mean nothing coming from you at all. Hey, look, both of y'all niggas right there, boy. Hey, if Pride was a group of people, but
it'd be you and who else?
8:30.
Me.
No, bro. I just I just grouped us in together, bro. I ain't gonna separate the baby and the bad boy. I just grouped us together. Yeah. Mike, what about you, bro?
This is goddamn the 4 pride tops, goddamn.
The pride tops. The pride tops. That's that singing group, the pride tops.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you how good this question is, because it's making me think about what I need now, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I would say, in my early 20s, I think I needed almost like to be babied a little bit, if that makes sense. Because I was missing, of course, obvious things from the family structure. And I needed some guidance as far as like pointing me in the right direction. And that's not just career wise, but that's like I want to say personality. I want to say like molding of a like a well I guess as a person. I think there was a lot of identity issues that I was facing that I needed some like point, directing on. And I think as I got older into my marriage, I think that I was still thinking I needed those things when in reality I wasn't the person that required those things anymore. And then I started to need I guess more calm platforms to communicate, more like target practice, if that makes sense. if I'm learning to communicate, I need more, a clear understanding that, hey, this is what's going on right now. I'm trying to get better at this. I guess that would be grace, more grace, understanding. I think what I need now, like Lewis said, accountability. My wife's my accountability partner. When she just got to tell me, hey, I know you don't know, but you're actually dead right now. You might want to go take a nap. Like, to the point where all of that, all the years build up of like transforming, I haven't ever stopped to rest my mind or, my body has been constant grind for the last, I'll say 10 years. Sure. So I think that's probably the most important part.
Can I say something?
Oh yeah, please do, Lewis, and I'll piggyback off you. Go ahead.
I want to brag on my wife.
Please do, Lewis.
Because that was good. You brought up some different things. Go ahead,
you
Lewis.
Did, bro. You did, and it made me think about my wife, and I got to give her a lot of credit because, and this kind of goes back to pride, right? Like, so I'm real goal driven and goal oriented, and my wife, she's the same. She's that, but she's not that all the time, right? And when you're really like someone that's ambitious, you kind of judge other people in their journey because you're like, if you really wanted it, you'd be doing this and this.
Yes,
and this,
bro.
And this, right?
That is so real.
So when I see her, it's hard for me to be like, so I feel like I have to drive her like, hey, no, if you want it, you got to go do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that. And she passed her real estate exam recently.
Shout out.
Okay,
shout out. At the end of her journey, we were talking, and I was like, baby, I'm just so proud of you. And she was like, thank you, Lewis, for staying on me and this and that, right? And then I call myself like trying to like give myself some points. I'm like, I motivate you. You know what I'm saying? I be motivate you. And I was like, you don't really do that for me. She said, you don't need it. And I was like, damn. So she really been watching this whole time. I am thinking I'm giving her something that's so great, but she's been watching me the whole time, understand, okay, if I needed it, she would give it to me. Does that make sense? Like she's paid enough attention to me to know exactly what it is I need versus what I did. You know what I'm saying? So I had to give her credit. I didn't even realize. You know what I'm saying? She's like, why am I going to do to you? She's like, why am I going to do to you what I already see you do for yourself?
Right.
So, and it let me know if I needed it, she would. So, man, like, I'm like, damn, my whole thought process of her just kind of even elevated because she's paying attention. You know
and
what I mean?
Lewis, I know she is paying attention, but I got to ask you a question. What made you still ask that question? Even in that situation, do you feel that maybe in certain instances you do need it still? Even though she feels you have it. Do you feel you asked that question because you still need it?
Damn, good question, Jay.
That's a great question. Man, when no one ever does it for you, you kind of like, you second guess if you're motivated enough.
Right.
Because I'm like, I motivate myself so much to the point to where it's like, well, should someone else be doing this? And I do it for other people, especially being in a leadership role. Like my goal is to help motivate my team, but I'm like, who's motivating me?
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like who's that? And then the first person I look to is my accountability partner. You know what I'm saying? Like but I don't need it,
So, Lewis, can I ask you? I'm sorry, bro. I know we've been bombarding you with questions, but I'm gonna ask a real last question, bro. Be as transparent as you would like or whatever, because I've dealt with this, and I just want to know if you have too. Have you ever, me being really tight, close to Brittany? Y'all know how close I am to her. I lean on her for a lot more than anybody will probably ever know. Do you feel like, have you ever experienced all the hats that your wife wear take a toll on your marriage because you look for her in so many different aspects, sometimes unfairly? And it's like, we don't even give anybody else the opportunity to be there for us because we constantly putting different hats on her.
Yeah. I think
that's a good question, Kenan. Good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. I try not to put stuff on my wife, when it comes to like me, like I just like, hey, the family and us, and that's it. Like the family and then her, like that's all I want you to, I don't even want you to worry about me. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to and that hurts me sometimes because, I need, again, like who's going to be there for me, who's going to help me out. So I don't know if it takes a toll on, I don't know. She's never said it to me, but I will say that I do disregard a lot of the things that she does. I will say that. And it takes people on the outside let me know and kind of giving that perspective. But I don't think it's affected us like that, Kenan.
Well, I can answer that question, Keenan, if I may.
Sure.
I think for me, it has. I think it's taking a toll, and the reason why is because I think within me requiring my wife to wear so many hats, it's because deep down inside I have trust issues with people that I've tried to give them that position, and they failed at it.
Oh.
So now the only person that I consistently trust, because I know Pooh is gonna hold it down no matter what,
Sure.
subconsciously or consciously put those extra hats on her. And then if something happens, I'm not realizing the collateral damage or the things that it's doing to her mentally that she has to take care of and make sure, like, hey, I got, when it's not really her job. Some of that stuff should be on me. Some of that, so I think for me, it's working a negative way.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely.
Which one, Mike?
That wife hats, she got too many on. And so much so that me realizing it, I don't fuss about nothing. Like there is no mistake big enough for me to fuss about. You know what I mean? Like when somebody's juggling the world, what am I really gonna be mad at if you drop a couple countries or whatever every once in a while? But I think that's and I like Jay. It ain't really too many other options for the hats, heads for the hats to go on.
Right.
Like so every once in a while I'll take one and throw it on. It may not fit the same. It may be a little too big for me, but I'll wear it.
X.
That's good. Well, we in the bag. Man. Keep it going.
I know. Listening to y'all, it's just, I guess my perspective of my marriage has just been so unique because I think like when we first moved up here, the hats was really bad. The hats were really bad. And I guess like so going back to the need thing really quickly, I needed a lot of validation at the beginning. And, and I think I was aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Those little rubs on the back matter. Like, good job, all that shit mattered. Then, I hit a point, was like, baby, you ain't got to do that no more. And now it's to the point, it's like, yo, she'll ask me, she like, 2 or 3 weeks, you need to pick me up? No, I'm straight. Or I come in like, hey, this shit was rough this month. But realize it went from daily to like monthly to like quarterly to like, damn, you need me to tap into it? And I had to realize when I needed her to tap into it, but just because she asked me and I said yes, didn't make it not genuine because she immediately tapped into her nurturing bag because that's what I needed. But to say about like the hats thing, I guess my wife just always, I learned to take hats off her and do wherever I had to do with them. So her and I could hold each other more accountable because I feel like she puts a lot of hats on me. I feel like we will really, really even and empower each other at our strengths. I think there's even in parenting, I think some things women are naturally better at and men are naturally better at. But in my situation, I'm maybe on the one. I hear a lot of dads that I know, maybe not y'all as much, but that say like the little baby stage is not my stage. Like I don't want to. That's not me. I love it.
That was me. I ain't gonna lie. That was me.
I was gonna say that's kind of me too, brother.
Yeah, but the point I was making was I think there's a lot of things that women are naturally better at, that men are naturally better at. But my wife may be better than me at that thing that men are naturally supposed to be better at, and I empower her. So it's like we get in a situation where it's not. I don't really the hats. Let's kind of you wear these 2, I wear these 3, but we can hold each other accountable on these 5 hats, no matter which way it go. Because when she wearing 10 and I'm wearing 10, ain't no job gonna get done. Like Mike said, you juggling all that, you gonna drop some stuff, and I can't say nothing. So I'm like, hey, let's just figure out this master these 5 hats. And when we master these 5, we're going to hold each other accountable on these 5 because, this is a true story, bro. I don't even know how I got here, but this is a true story, bro. Y'all got me going off a tangent. Like, I always go through this thing with my family where they like, this was like maybe a month ago. No, maybe 3 weeks. I got an argument with one of my siblings and it was like, yeah, because Brit. And I think the thing was when I was talking to her, she was like, I really don't like that. And my whole time I give my wife praise, like, you know what I'm saying? You did the damn thing. And she was like, I really don't like when people say that to you. I'm thinking like, you don't? Not. She was like, not really, because I had something to do with it, but there's certain shit that I had nothing to do with that you just did. And they take away all that just because I helped you on some stuff. I was like, damn.
Brother, I cannot tell you how relevant. Relevant. What you're saying is, I had to have that conversation with a sibling of mine, and I'm like, he was praising, his significant other, which I'm all for because I praise my wife a lot, But I'm like, bro, how about sometimes it's maturity, and how sometimes it's you, right? Like, I'll give my wife a lot of credit, but I think Jay even said this last week. It's up to us to take the initiative to apply the information that we're taught or that's being presented, or take the lessons that life gives us. So I think it's all great to praise people and individuals put in your life, but it's up to you to take the information and apply it, and we can't get lost in that. You know what I'm saying? So man, shout out to Brittany for even recognizing that, man, because you could lose yourself, right? Because if let's say it's something, I'm not trying to be negative, something were to happen and you're crediting this person for all of your success. If they were to go away, in your mind, you don't think that you could function or be successful on your own, and you get away from you. And that's important, man. That's huge.
Shout out to Britt for that, for sure.
For real.
So I guess the follow-up question to you gentlemen will be, where's the line drawn for your brilliance in any situation, work, friendships, anything? Like, where's the line drawn? Like, so back to the example Jason and Lewis just reiterated, you get information, you get a push. Where's your line drawn? And the reason why I say that is, until that month ago, I don't think about stuff like that. Right, me and Brittany know what we built. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody else think. She don't care. She'll say, like, I don't care about that shit. Like, whatever. Like, she'll say it. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, yes, I have a master's degree. For 4 months straight, Brittany be like, when she first got in grad school, she's like, you can do this, right? I'm like, bro, I'm not going back to grad school. She said, Keenan, I know you can do it. I hopped in, killed it, got a 3.6. She was like, I was like, damn, babe, thank you. She was like, nigga, I just told you to start. I ain't gonna get you no 3.6.
There you go. Congrats, bro. That's facts.
No, that's huge, bro. I was gonna joke, but that was big, though. That's impressive.
What was you gonna say?
I could, and part of me wanted to flip it, but no, bro, I gotta give respect to
that. I want to hear it, man.
Louis, no, that's all right.
You went to ICDC college, is what he's about to say.
No, but but think about it though, fellas. How much of your identity do you lose in your marriage, though? To the point where, like, you don't know where the line is drawn from her prayer, her will, her ability to your intelligence, your value. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I guess
I think you lose a lot. Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think you lose a lot in your marriage because you're naturally trying to give the other person everything. All of you, all of your experiences, all of, like you said, if you're trying to better your marriage and better your relationships and become a better father at the same time, you're trying to dial in and give all of that to everybody. The problem is you lose so much of that the line becomes obsolete to a certain extent. Like, it becomes like, if you don't find that line and find that time, you're looking for that line from your partner. I don't know how much you can kind of find a line. I'm speaking for myself personally, because, like, for example, my daughter yesterday I was like, man, I'm about to lay down. I'm tired and about to take a nap. Everybody know me knows I do not take naps at all. Sure. I just don't. But when I said that, Mackenzie was like, you about to take a nap? You're never tired. And it's like, in my mind, I was thinking, dang, like, she really sees me as, like, always going 110, that a nap is so foreign to her from me. So it's like, crazy. It's just crazy because she always sees me. So I guess I said all that to say, like, I guess where I'm trying to go with the question, I'm trying to really, like, navigate it.
But that brain on there with diarrhea, boy.
And my shit cooking. I'm talking my shit. It's
I said all that to say.
I said,
good gracious, bro, somebody get the jumper cables.
In the situation, bro, the line is gone, bro. It's obsolete.
I see. You said all that shit to say it's gone.
Hold on, bro. My bad, but hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was talking and I was trying to watch the game at the same time. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro.
I got you,
I just seen him make a crazy play. You know how you try to, like, weave through it, bro. That shit was
we're not gonna hold you. We could tell, bro, because you was like, yeah, in the situation with me,
he just put a crazy.
But
he put
the
a
line
crazy
to the
move on it.
line,
My
though.
bad, bro. My bad, bro.
It's all good, bro. We wasted like a whole 2 minutes of the pod. Go ahead. It's all good.
Yeah,
Mike,
it's
what
cool.
about you, bro?
Hey, I'm glad you can edit, bro.
Nah, it's live.
Look at Jay face.
Everybody know that brain get the sizzling.
Yeah. My shit was cooking. I ain't gonna hold you.
I agree with Jay. That line do get shaky. To the point where, like, you don't even know you're supposed to be looking for a line because you don't even know that you lost yourself, right? Like, you don't even know that that you're not even you because you done created a new you that you operate in. So you make a determination like, okay, so once this phase of life is over, once the babies grow up, do I get back to do what I was doing, doing what I was doing before? Or am I still gonna like what's next? I think and then when it comes to like your contributions, the praise, I think you gotta self-reflect and figure out like what buttons do you gotta push to really make yourself happy when it comes to this stuff, bro. Because I don't think you can really find it outside of yourself, or really quantify like the relationships around you, and who's responsible for what, and what the totality of the role you play in your maturation, or those around you. So I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. Like I think my shit frying too, Jay. I got
That's what I'm about to say. You over there malfunctioning too, bro.
Yeah,
I'm about to say
my TV behind me though, so goddamn.
Hey, but isn't it supposed to intertwine? Aren't you supposed to become one in theory? In theory, like you're supposed to develop, a new way of thinking. But I think that like a new life, like you become one. But I think for me, the challenge is, and I think the challenge for most people is that you still have to evolve individually too. Like you still have a responsibility for yourself. Like I'm glad I go to therapy and not couples therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that gives me a chance to work on me. I'm glad that that my wife and I do enjoy different things because we are able to obtain and offer different perspectives to one another. I don't believe in all of us doing all the same things all the time. I hate the idea of like couples having Facebook pages. I think that's the weirdest shit ever.
You mean like
one of them
like
was
a
cheating.
combined page together?
Yeah, one of them was cheating.
Oh yeah, no, we good on that. That's
like
that's wild.
Right, because you're still an individual. You know what I'm saying? Like you're still a human being. And I think you said one of them was cheating, Mike.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Cheating. Yeah.
Come on, Louis. You know damn well that's the truth. Come on now.
Yeah.
They got that Life 360 app. They know where they at all times.
But it's important, like, to have that just that individual aspect, because like Jay or Mike said, the end game is not now. Like I know that there'll be a life where my kids are out the house and that we still have to turn around and be those same two people. And I think it's important for us to still be who we are. That's what attracted us to one another, is those traits, Yeah. I'm not gonna malfunction like my brothers over here, so I'm gonna stop.
Hey, look, you gonna stop before that car cut off. Go ahead, Keenan.
I have such a, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga from New York? What the hell?
That's what I'm like. What the fuck? What you got on Tim's?
Nah, man. I just think
he got on gym shorts and Tim's.
It's crazy because Mike Tonio just posted something about this literally earlier today, like round 5 or 6. He was like, why do so many relationships fail once they get married? And I do think you become one, but I think that shit is oversold sometimes, bro. Like I think you become locked in and you start to think a certain way together. You start to understand how your marriage handles situations together. You start to realize when you say one, that's like if you say y'all one and I give y'all 10 scenarios separately, y'all can say who will handle which scenario, based off the skill set that we know we would do. So if I put car maintenance, this, kids, that you all will probably 9 times out of 10 at least get 8 out of the 10 correct on both sides. But I think with individuality, man, and I think this has worked in me and Britt's favor, and this is really big when we had Cameron. Like we've always told ourselves, this might sound bad to people that don't believe this, but like we're going to integrate him into our life. Like we're going to stop and make sure that, he needs everything he needs. you change some things nevertheless. You know what I'm saying? But like her and our thing was like, when he needs it, we'll do it. But we refused to stop our marriage because we had a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, bro, like small things like when if we wake up and we used to go, you know, no kids, hey baby, let's go to this restaurant that's an hour away. Damn, like, okay, let's go. Now with Cameron, baby, let's go to this restaurant that's an hour away. All right, what we're gonna do is wait till he gets sleepy. And when he gets sleepy, we're gonna get him dressed and then we're gonna go because he's gonna sleep in the car. So like it's an adjustment, but we don't allow it to change our marriage because man, I just really truly think with marriage, bro, I was taught that marriage, it looks like something. No, it feels like something. You know what I'm saying? Everybody asked me how my 8th anniversary this past Saturday, and I tell them like,
congrats.
Appreciate it. But I told everybody that asked, bro, we did something really simple, but I was like, yo, we come to a place like, yo, we so happy to be happy with each other. And I don't think a lot of people can honestly say that, like, yo, when they turn to the left or turn to the right, it's not like, why are you still here? You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
That individual, that one thing gets real grayish when you don't really buy into the thought of like longevity, I think, in my opinion.
Hey, Keenan, do you think that having kids later gave you that maturity in how to, and you learning how to deal with it? Because Jay, you had kids, your daughter right after I had my son. Mike, how old were you when you had your first kid?
My oldest 11. So goddamn, about 12.
So yay, man. Like when you like just hearing you kind of plan, okay, we're gonna plan going out hour away. Like when my kids were at that age, I didn't have the thought process to figure something out like that. I'm like, damn, that was smart. Why didn't I think of that? And I'm like, fool, because you were young and you weren't smart enough at the time. You know, so yeah, do you feel like that creates an advantage for you?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. Now, yes, absolutely. I could have had them at 33 now. Like I really, because when I was 21, all my friends had kids when I was 21. All of them.
Fuck you, man. Yeah, since we live, let's put that on record.
Jay, how long was I the uncle that didn't have kids?
Oh man, for the longest.
10 years.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a minute. That's
it
crazy.
Was never. I have to worry about no babysitters. I'm like, damn, y'all gotta get babysitters. Let me know, nigga. We can go whenever. Like I'm straight. Let me know.
Was like that too, though.
Yeah, like bro. But the thing I wouldn't say, I would never mess up nobody's house. So I'm not like, hey, bro, let's go do this, and you know what I'm saying, you can handle what you need to handle. But bro, people try to pressure me and Britt because when we got married at 20, when we got married at 23, everybody was like, oh, she got to be pregnant. Like, what y'all getting? I'm like, damn. So I can't even get married for the right reason. Then when we got married in anniversary 2, 4, 5, it's like, y'all ain't got kids yet? No, nigga, we ain't want them yet. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we chilling. And Brittany said, let's go to school, get our careers, and try to get our home. And it made everything to this day, bro, literally tonight, when I was putting Cameron to sleep, I could not have done that 3 years ago with the same, like, whatever that dad feeling is when you're like, damn, bro, we really out here sticking and moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Clarity.
Boy, yeah.
Is it?
You have clarity. I just got clarity.
But you got to look at what age you had.
Me too, Lewis.
For real, bro.
You got to look at what age I had y'all children, though. Like,
it's a blessing.
Some grace.
It's a blessing and a curse.
No, go ahead, Lewis.
I say it's a blessing and a curse because it drove me, or maybe I'm giving it too much credit, but I do feel like it drove me. And obviously, I'll be a younger parent when they're ready to leave the nest. But I think that the curse is, like, I do feel like my wife and I did miss like some of our better years of enjoying each other and having fun and being, I don't regret my kids at all, but I do feel like we missed out on, certain luxuries and freedoms to do things. You know what I mean? Like I do feel that way also.
Yeah, because you too damn serious now, bro. Oh my God, you in dad mode all the time, boy.
All the time, dog.
It's serious. Like you go out, like, bro. Like, yeah, they can have some fun, bro. Like, oh my God.
He in a cut at bumper jumpers with a straight face.
Bro, I'm telling you, look, bro.
Bumper jumpers.
Bro, serious. I'm like, damn, Lewis, like, bro. This nigga be tucking. Never mind. Go ahead.
Tucking the shirt in.
He got a white V-neck with the Levi's phone.
Bro, I'm telling you, Lewis serious, bro. I forgot how long it was. But you remember that time I came to Greensboro, I came to your house, and we was chilling. It was me and Britt.
Yeah.
Man, it came like, bro, the first time I'm like, damn, nigga, can you loosen your shoulder? That nigga's shoulder like, nigga, let them joints down. Good gracious.
Hey, man.
Relax.
Hey, Kenny, I know we laughing and joking, but something that you said was really good, man. And I think a lot of people out there need to hear this. It's not about how your marriage looks, it's how it feels. Oh, and I think that a lot of people stray away from that. That was a very, very good point. You know, it's true because we lose sight of that. It's more, you don't even try to be image driven, but I think it's with your surroundings, your environment, and what people. It's so weird that none of us. I can't speak for y'all. I didn't really have a good example of a good marriage before I got married. Mm-hmm. So all the things that I've tried to model my marriage after and mimic my marriage after was either, you know, self-taught or like listening to other people that were married that I shouldn't have been listening to because they had boys. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that at a later age in my life, but it's like, it's more so about that feeling. It's like you become uptight, you know, over time about small shit that doesn't even matter. It's like, yeah, well, this needs to happen this way. And it goes back to what Lewis was saying too. Don't forget, you got to understand that you still have that individuality that you guys have. Understand that part. You're coming together like the Venn diagram. You got your side, I got my side, but we have this marriage in the middle, right? Sure. That's what we have. That's as sacred. That's what it is. But at the same time, this is who I am. And I think within marriage, like Mike said, you can go to a point to where, oh, this is the new me. Well, what did the old you look like, Mike? What did old Mike like to do?
You know,
right? Like,
he ain't gonna bring that up.
Hey, but you know the craziest question, Mike? I'm gonna ask you this, Mike. Crazy question, Mike. I want you to be real.
Okay.
When you make that transition, isn't it safe to say most men make that transition internally on their own, and not a lot of people are hip to it? Or do you feel like the people around you could see as you made that transition, or was it like a conscious internal decision? And it's kind of like you pop up in certain atmospheres, a new Mike, because you dealt with it internally and did what you had to do and become the new Mike. Does the question make sense?
Hold on, Rick, say it one more time.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It was a little.
Okay, so like, you know, you say like when you were becoming a new you, right?
Right.
I'll put it in my instance.
Okay.
When I think my largest leap of evolution, a lot of it was internal work that nobody saw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So after you do the internal work, nobody's seeing that. So it's hard for people to take heed to, even my wife sometimes, of the new Keenan, because they weren't really a part of that process. It was all internal.
Okay, I got you.
You know, like I'm going to therapy sessions, I'm doing what I got to do, versus like sometimes people are a part of your evolution and they're like a part of the actual work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you made that jump, was it more like, you know, you were helped along, or you kind of like made a decision, it was internal work, and you kind of popped up and like, you know, I don't like this no more, because you dealt with whatever you had to get there?
I got you. I would say it was internal work. And it wasn't intentional. It was me in the process of finding like what I was really interested in. I found topics, and I'm big into history and culture and stuff like that, of course.
Sure.
And I think through me like falling in love with that stuff newly, the process that it takes to really understand that stuff, I had to reconstruct my mind to view information a certain way, right? I had to view it from that scientific point of view, you know, with rules and stuff like that. And then I translated, and I liked the way my mind worked from there. And I took that back into the outside world and starting to see the world from that same view. So that I'm able to take in perspective, because that's a change that happened like overnight, seemingly. But it was really just me finding something I was interested in, and like falling deep into that and acting out that. It's like watching House or whatever, but instead of just liking House, you really become a doctor. Like you can be a doctor every sense of you got everything but the qualifications. Yeah, and I think and went out into the world like that. Yeah.
Yeah. What
Let's
about
get
you,
it,
Jay?
Mike? Okay. I really don't know for me, man. I was kind of listening to Mike and trying to understand. I think for me, my circumstances kind of created a new Jay. It wasn't really internal for me. It was more external for me. Like my circumstances created a new Jay, and I wasn't aware of it until I actually got to a point in my life to where I didn't recognize myself. I didn't recognize like the mannerisms that I was like anything that I was doing. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like this isn't me. But then I started asking myself, is this the new me? But for me to say, is this the new me? I thought that I had to create that. But in a sense, it was just all the stuff that was going on around me. Like, okay, the new me is going to be like when it comes to the kids, right? For example, I give an example. Well, I know we was just clowning Lewis about the uptight dad stuff, right? me traveling. it was funny that he said them shoulders was up. Like
I'm telling you, boy. Like, bro, calm down. They sleep, bro. They upstairs knocked out. I'm like, Lewis, bro, they good, bro.
He playing spades with his shoulders up. What I'm saying is this. So in that situation, when it came to with me traveling and stuff like that, when I came back, the new me was like, oh, okay, I gotta get stuff back in line. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta, and it wasn't needed. The normal stuff was there. I was just creating stuff. Where I came back and I'm like, oh, I've been missing my wife. I need to do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. It's like, no, that's not needed. So I started creating this external person, that a new version of Jay that wasn't real. I have to now figure out how do you get back to either the old Jay, but incorporate those new things along the line to create a new Jay that I'm actually gonna like.
And sustainable.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know where I'm going left. Lewis, you, then
No, man, kind of a mix of both, but I think it's just personal growth goal. Like I there are things about myself that I wanted to rid and improve upon, and I taking the next necessary steps to get there. And I really test myself in situations, right? Like my brother and I has always been an opportunity, how we respond to each other, and whenever I'm around him longer than 3 days, we're gonna get into argument. It's just inevitable. So it was. And but then like I started saying, okay, Lewis, let's go 3 days without reacting this way. Or like with my children, when they misbehave, all right, let's see how you respond this time. Like I'm purposely trying new things with the goal in mind of getting to this place to who I want to be. But I do feel like with me being an extremist, I was creating a person, as Jay referenced, I was creating a false identity, projecting these expectations on myself when all I needed to do is just be a better version of who I am. So it may not be like I get it right every time, but maybe I can approach it a certain way that I feel like I can continue to do and not set false expectations for because you are who you are at the root of everything, right? Like it's going to come out if it's disingenuous or if it's not real. So I think it's just really being realistic about who I can be in my evolution. And that's an ongoing process for me, Keenan. So there's no one moment that's defined that for me.
When you say you are who you are you saying that you can only better your ways that you already currently have? Like, because it's crazy. Because again, Tonio, when he posted that joint, he said that to me too. He was like, I was saying, he basically asked like, why do you think marriages fail? Why relationships end up failing after marriage? And I was like, people don't want to change. And he was like, well, I agree with it. And I said some other stuff. He's like, I agree with everything you said, but the change part, because we are who we are in essence. You know what I'm saying? Like you only get more of that or less than that, less of that. So what's y'all take on that? Because I just want to know, just curiosity, like you believe when people do things and they're malicious or whatever the case may be, that's just them. They can't change that. That's who they'll be. Or can people change?
I don't think that they can't. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Lewis.
Well, I was going to use a good example. Like, an addiction, like if anyone has an addiction, that say they're alcoholic, even if they don't drink anymore, they say they're recovering alcoholic because you have the way that you combat that maliciousness or whatever it is that you're dealing with. You first must you first must acknowledge its presence, and that you can revert back to those ways. So you always have to be reminded, and humble. It's really humbling, right? That you can go back to that space. So I think you should understand who you are, what you can be, good, bad, or indifferent, especially if you've demonstrated that before. Because if I kill somebody, I'm a killer. Whether I'm no longer killing people, I've done that before, and therefore that's who I am. That doesn't mean that's who I have to continuously be, but that's something that I've done. That's who I am.
Right. That was really good, actually, Louis. Really, really good. I
had that queued up for that nigga.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, bro, I don't want no smoke, Louis. I want zero smoke, bro.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Lou, he on one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, boy. Hey, Steve, he's sending hints too. Because if I was a fucking killer and I killed
I feel like he pointed at me through Zoom, bro. Like,
my bad, dog. No, man.
Yeah, he did.
No killing
bro,
over here, brother. No, man.
Hey, no killing over here. Don't try to clear your fucking name now. But to answer your question,
all right, you too. Appreciate y'all checking in, bro.